Hi and welcome to day 5 of OctHorrorFest. Today we're talking about The Wicker Man, and no, it is not the Nicolas Cage version. I'm talking about the 1973 original. Now, the only two things I know about The Wicker Man is the bees bit from the Nick Cage version and that image of Christopher Lee in front of the big Wicker Man. So that is literally all I know. I have no idea about what happens at all. So to my surprise, it opened with a lovely aerial view of Scotland with some lovely folk music playing in the background, which I was not expecting at all. And it starts with a policeman landing on Summerisle Island in Scotland, and it's this very picturesque, lovely little town, and there's a full sense of security that is definitely very quickly broken. And the first thing Dave said when we were watching it was actually that it was like Midsommar crossed with Hot Fuzz, which I found quite funny. And as I was looking up an actor who was in it, I discovered that one of the actors was actually in Hot Fuzz. And that's the character Sergeant Howie, who's actually played by Edward Woodward, which is a very fun name to say, actually. He actually has one of my favourite lines in Hot Fuzz when he says, "We'll be up to our balls in jugglers." That was a really bad West Country accent, I apologise. So the premise of this movie is that a girl called Rowan has gone missing and Sergeant Howie has been assigned to see what's happened to her. So he goes to the So he travels to Summerisle Island in Scotland to find out what happened. So there is no kind of straight up horror in this film. The film just has a kind of sense of unfamiliarity and just weirdness throughout it. There's just a sense of being a stranger in a weird place. You know. And it was when they all started singing about how hot the landlord's daughter was that I realised that this was odd. So the music in this film was something that I wasn't expecting. It kind of turned into this bizarre horror musical thing, and it, again, like, it was strange, but it kind of added to that, you know, feeling of everything just being not quite right. And again, I wasn't expecting so much nudity, especially with the entire musical number sung by a completely naked woman. That was, again, really strange. This film is just so weird and I wasn't expecting it. But what I loved about this is that you really felt Sergeant Howie's frustration throughout the movie. You know, he's trying to find this lost girl, the villagers are just not being helpful at all, they're lying to him, but there's this sense that they're all kind of in on a joke, like there's an inside joke throughout this whole village and he just doesn't know what's happening, even though it's like quite a serious matter. Now, the one thing that really stuck out for me was its similarities to Midsommar, and you can really see how Midsommar has taken a lot of influence from it. I mean, I will say Midsommar is very kind of more obviously horror, in the fact that it's got more shocking scenes and stuff like that, but I can see, you know, where they've got the basic stuff from. But I actually think I prefer what The Wicker Man was doing with the concept. Now, I thought the ending was actually really clever. I'm not going to give it away. I know this film's been out for years and years and years, but I had no idea what happened at the end, and I thought it was very well executed, because it was literally up until the last second that I realised what was happening, and I thought it was very, very interesting. Now, I do have to mention Christopher Lee. This is actually the youngest film that I've seen him in. I know I probably should have seen the Dracula films, I just haven't, but he was honestly just so bizarre. His character, Lord Summerisle, who is essentially, you know, the leader of the island, was interesting, to say the least. But he played him very well. Like, Christopher Lee is just incredible, and this is such a role that I've never seen him play before, and it was very interesting. It was actually funny because his voice just sounded so different. I was expecting the kind of booming Saruman voice, but it was actually quite gentle and it was really strange. So overall, I actually really loved Wicker Man. I really wasn't expecting to be honest. I had no idea what to expect from it, but it was just really fun. Weird, but fun. And there's a point during the middle-ish where I kind of nearly lost it a little bit. I wasn't quite on board with it, where like there was just so much singing and nakedness and stuff. But I mean, I guess again, like, it all added to that sense of unfamiliarity and just it was just very jarring is the word. But I guess kind of once you settle into that and realise what they were doing, it's just very good. So that concludes day 5. If you have seen Wicker Man, leave a comment below with your thoughts. Did you find it too weird? Just enough weird? Or, you know, not enough weird? Do you want it weirder? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and give this video a big like. And if you'd like to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, I shall leave the links down below. And if you really, really, really like this video, check out my Patreon. I shall leave the link down below. You can support me for $2 a month, and that's about £1.60. and yeah, I post exclusively early stuff and crochet things, and yeah, so have a little look at that. And I will see you tomorrow for Friday the 13th.